In one of those cases, they had 2 grams of heroin in their pocket and admitted to stealing to support their habit. And when the recommendation from the prosecutor was plead to one of those cases, dismiss the other, and impose 8 days in jail, which the person had already served, and close the case. Close the case means there's no services. And I said, isn't this exactly the type of offense that the community is complaining about? What incentive does the defendant have to not re-enter that store and be back here next week?
Pete Holmes and the public defender, they've sent a harshly worded letter, not to the judge. We'll talk about that because it didn't go to the judge. It went to someone else. Mike Lewis reached out to a vast network of people, and you have some background on this. We're not going to get anywhere else, Mike.
Generally speaking, if a judge asks for specific sentencing in a specific case, that is absolutely out of line according to the Judicial Code of Conduct in the state of Washington. It's a bright line distinction. You don't step out of your lane like this. If a judge is asking broadly for could you do more regarding sentencing recommendations, that is not considered necessarily bright line, out of line, but is definitely considered, as one person put it, smells like a fish. This is not necessarily something that you should do as a judge. And broadly speaking, you ought not go out making speeches on this sort of thing. It is actually, whether or not you agree with the way Pete Holmes runs his office, it is in his discretion to decide who to charge, what to charge, and what sentencing recommendations. Judges, remember, have their own, and it's stated in the letter, judges can go outside those recommendations all they want as long as they're fitting within the legal framework of plausible sentences for that given crime.
Yes, so we'll hear from, thank you, Mike, we'll hear from Judge McKenna at some point. He has issued a statement, and I want to get to that. And just one counterpoint to this is what I was hearing from the judge was, yes, he did mention a specific case. I didn't hear him say a name. Mentioned a series of frustrations with what's going on in the area. And if he violated the code of ethics, he did. But you got this. Can I get to the judge's statement?
I was just going to say, what they're saying is you do this after the fact, just not before.
Here's the way it normally operates. The judges keep their yaps shut outside of court about this stuff. It doesn't help because you know what also it affects? The great irony here is it actually can affect an appeal on something if the judge has been out making speeches on this. This is not, whether or not you agree with McKenna is not really the point. It seems to be a consensus among people who actually like him quite a lot. Like, maybe just stop talking. Like, as one person put it, this is competing grandstanding. Because the other thing that they said was also, to Pete Holmes' letter, when you have a problem with the judge, you can settle this stuff up in private with a meeting. You do not release a letter like this.